Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the world of Android hacking apps that can transform your mobile device into a hacking supercomputer. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only. Let's get started. So, with that in mind, we've curated a list of 12 fascinating Android apps that showcase a range of functionalities, from network scanning and penetration testing to remote administration. Alright, so kicking things off, we've got AndroRat. The name itself, a portmanteau of Android and RAT, remote administration tool, pretty much tells you what it's all about. This is a client-server application, and its primary function is to allow remote control over an Android system. Essentially, once deployed, it can give an administrator access to a whole host of functions on the target device from a separate system. This includes things like retrieving call logs, messages, contacts, location data, and even accessing the camera or microphone. The app typically works by installing a client APK on the target Android device, which then connects back to a server controlled by the administrator. Understanding how AndroRat works helps security professionals develop better defenses against such remote access Trojans. Always ensure you're getting apps from trusted stores and scrutinize permissions before hitting accept. Next up, let's talk about Zonti. Developed by Zimperium, Zonti is essentially a comprehensive mobile penetration testing toolkit. It's designed for security managers and IT professionals to identify vulnerabilities in their networks and systems using their Android devices. Once connected to a network, Zonti can map it out, identify connected devices, and then run a series of tests against them. This includes checks for common vulnerabilities, weak passwords, and misconfigurations. It also generates detailed reports, which is crucial for ethical hackers who need to document their findings and recommend remediation steps. Using Zonti ethically means you're operating with explicit permission to test a network. It's a powerful learning tool when used responsibly, helping to train the next generation of cybersecurity defenders. All right, moving on to Exploit. This is another robust security assessment tool for Android, and it really packs a punch when it comes to features and capabilities. Exploit integrates several well-known tools and frameworks. For instance, it can enumerate local hosts, find vulnerabilities, find exploits for those vulnerabilities, and then use those exploits. You can perform man-in-the-middle attacks to manipulate network traffic, inject JavaScript or HTML, replace images and videos, or even capture credentials. The user interface is designed to be relatively straightforward for those familiar with these types of tools. The advanced capabilities of Exploit mean it should only be used by individuals who understand the ethical and legal implications of their actions and have explicit permission to test the target systems. It's a professional-grade tool, and its misuse can have serious consequences. Hackode, the ethical hacker's toolbox. Now let's look at Hackode. This app positions itself as a toolbox for ethical hackers, penetration testers, and IT administrators. It provides tools for Google hacking, using Google Dorks to find vulnerable systems or information, whois lookups, DNS lookups, IP scanning, port scanning, and even some exploit searching capabilities. It also includes features for security RSS feeds, keeping you updated on the latest news and vulnerabilities in the cybersecurity world. Think of Hackode as a starting point for many security assessments. The app is generally user-friendly, presenting its tools in a clear, categorized manner. It's a good app for learning about different reconnaissance techniques and how information can be pieced together to build a profile of a target. DroidSheep Understanding Session Hijacking. Alright, let's talk about DroidSheep. This app is specifically designed to demonstrate the vulnerabilities of session hijacking, particularly on open Wi-Fi networks. DroidSheep listens for and intercepts unprotected web session cookies being transmitted over a network. Once it captures these cookies, it can potentially allow the user to impersonate the victim and gain access to their accounts on various websites. DroidSheep was primarily developed as an educational tool to raise awareness about the risks of using unsecured Wi-Fi. It's important to note that using DroidSheep to hijack sessions without consent is illegal and unethical. Its legitimate use is strictly for educational purposes and for testing the security of your own network and applications. Nmap for Android network mapping on the go. Next up, we have Nmap for Android. Nmap is a free and open-source utility for network discovery and security auditing. Having a version of Nmap that runs natively on Android brings a significant amount of that power and flexibility to your mobile device. Nmap for Android typically provides a graphical front-end that simplifies the process of running scans. You can input target IP addresses or host names, select common scan types like ping scan, port scan, OS detection, and view the results in a more digestible format. For anyone serious about network analysis or ethical hacking, having Nmap in their pocket is a game changer. It allows for quick network reconnaissance from virtually anywhere, making it an indispensable tool for on-the-fly assessments or troubleshooting network issues. Let's discuss an app with a controversial name but useful in ethical contexts: Wi-Fi Kill. It disconnects other devices from a Wi-Fi network. It performs a deauthentication attack, useful for managing your own Wi-Fi network. For example, removing unauthorized devices. Using it on networks you don't own is illegal and unethical. Similar to Wi-Fi Kill, Netcut manages network usage by cutting off internet access to specific devices. It uses ARP spoofing to intercept and block traffic. Netcut requires root access on Android for full functionality. Marketed for network administrators, it can prevent ARP spoofing attacks. However, its misuse potential is significant. Ensure you have the right to manage the network ethically and legally. Next on our list is Shark for Root. This app is essentially a traffic sniffer, similar in principle to Wireshark, but designed for Android devices. As the name implies, it requires root access to function. Its primary purpose is to capture and analyze network packets flowing to and from your Android device. Sniffing network traffic on a network you don't own or have explicit permission to monitor is illegal in most jurisdictions and constitutes a violation of privacy. Even when used on your own device or network, there are risks. The data captured can be voluminous and complex, requiring a good understanding of network protocols to interpret correctly. Always err on the side of caution and prioritize ethical conduct when dealing with tools that can access raw network data. Fing network scanning and troubleshooting made easy. Let's talk about Fing. This is an incredibly popular and highly rated network scanning app, and for good reason. Fing allows you to quickly discover all devices connected to your Wi-Fi network, identify them, and run various network diagnostic tests. Regularly scan your network, especially if you suspect someone might be piggybacking on your Wi-Fi. Fing can alert you to new devices joining your network. Use its internet speed test feature to check if you're getting the bandwidth you're paying for from your ISP. It's a fantastic utility for everyday network management. Network spoofer. Playful, but potentially annoying. Network pranks. Alright, let's look at Network Spoofer. This app allows you to run various spoofs or pranks on other computers connected to the same Wi-Fi network. For example, you could make all images on a web page appear upside down, change Google searches, redirect websites, or flip text. Development on Network Spoofer might not be as active as it once was. Many such tools were developed when Android's security model was different or when root access was more common. If you're exploring it for educational purposes to understand how HTTP traffic can be intercepted and modified on a local network, it should strictly be done on your own devices and network in a controlled lab environment. Always prioritize ethical considerations. USB Cleaver Silent Information Extraction. Finally, let's talk about USB Cleaver. This tool is designed to silently extract information from a target Windows PC when an Android device with the app is connected via USB. The idea is that when the Android device is plugged in, it can act as a human interface device, HID, or use auto-run-like features to execute a payload that grabs data like browser passwords, Wi-Fi keys, or system information, saving it to the Android device. USB Cleaver's effectiveness is highly dependent on the security configuration of the target Windows PC. Its usefulness for a legitimate penetration tester would be in demonstrating physical access vulnerabilities. Understanding how USB Cleaver works can help in developing better defenses against such threats. As with all tools discussed, its use should be strictly confined to authorized security testing and educational exploration to understand vulnerabilities, not for malicious data theft. Stay curious, stay secure. These 12 Android apps can turn your device into a hacking or network analysis tool. Use them for educational and defensive purposes. Cybersecurity is evolving. These tools teach us about vulnerabilities and security practices. Like, share and subscribe for more tech content. Keep exploring, keep learning, and stay secure.